Chef.
Welcome back to the Go-To Food Podcast, brought to you by Deli. Deli's a food platform from the team behind Depop that sells the best independent food and drinks products that other shops don't really know about. Head to www.deli.market and discover the thousands of creative products dropping daily, and use the code GoToDeli for 25% of everything from us. And we have another incredible treat in store for you today in the form of Elliott Grover, Exec Chef at the Cut 45 Park Lane, whatever you want to fucking call it. It's a wonderful place.
There you go, you got it.
It's just been voted, well, recently voted, the 10th best steak restaurant in the world, best in the country. Congratulations. Yep.
Thank you
And
very
it's
much.
also the chef who's had the pleasure of cooking for the most famous people in the world at the Oscars each year. But firstly, what makes the steak at the Cut the best in the country?
When I'm not cooking. No, I'm joking. Probably the product itself. I mean, we sort of work with the local farmers, whether it be in the UK, Australia, or Japan.
Yeah.
We work closely with that. Wolfgang Puck, the actual chef behind Cut, he's built these relationships literally over sort of 40 years, not 50. Won't stretch it quite that far. But he's built those relationships, and I've been lucky enough to sort of inherit a bit of that knowledge, and he's taught me and introduced me to the farmers. So, yeah.
That Japanese pure A5 Kagoshima Wagyu, apparently the most expensive steak in the world. How does it taste? Is it beautiful? And how terrified are the chefs when they have to cook it?
Oh, they won't overcook it.
No, that's an
way.
expensive
No
fuck
chance.
up.
No way. They won't be there tomorrow if they do. No, I'm joking.
How much? How much is it?
Well, I don't know.
£160, I think it is around now, for sort of a 6-ounce fillet, which is super, super expensive.
Yeah.
But it is harder to overcook, I find. It's quite easy.
Really?
It's quite a thick
because
piece.
okay.
But once you know, you know. I think there's only around 3 chefs that we have on the grill.
Really?
And they can sort of go through proper training. It's
Well, rightly so. It's the 10th best steak restaurant in the world.
Absolutely. And there is a certain way. We've got our own secret steak seasoning. Then we've got our own clay oven company, bespoke grill, Japanese charcoal. Everything
You're not messing
is
around.
precise. Everything's precise.
What? And this is a ridiculous question because you just said it's secret. But what, apart from the secret,
Yeah.
what are you seasoning it with?
It's a blend of mixed spices.
Okay.
So
That's all you're giving away.
the one thing I will give away is the time it takes to make.
Yeah.
So they get this wet sea salt that comes in sort of 20 kilo bags, and you've got to dehydrate that for sort of 48 hours at a low temperature. Then you blend it, and every single spice, which is over 10, has a certain grading of blend. So for example, the black pepper's at grade 3 blend, then the celery salt, we make that in-house. That's blend at sort of blend 4. So everything's got texture,
Like Hogwarts.
flavour.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like a magic spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were saying to Ocean Rogers a couple of weeks ago, formerly of the Guinea Grill, obviously you know who he is,
legend,
that customers can get overly opinionated about their steak. It's one thing they get. Sometimes with when the wonderful Joe Laker came on, he said the same with like scallops, and sometimes it's seafood. They go, that's underdone, whatever. Do you ever have any problems with customers? Because everyone gets a bit of an opinion.
I mean, daily, we always sort of listen to what the guests have to say, whether we agree or not.
No.
I just sort of think, you know what?
Yeah.
The guest is always right. And it's always just better. You know, whether I agree with it or not, it's better for me to just sort of go with it.
Yeah.
Spending an awful lot of money on the product.
Sure.
Just want to make them happy. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Cooking steaks at home is seemingly one of life's great problems, great tasks.
Yeah.
What's the trick to cooking a good... Because you go out and you eat the most delicious steak at the Cut, Park Lane 45, amongst other places. But what is the trick to doing it at home?
You know, it's a funny question. Now, when I'm walking around Sainsbury's or Tesco's with my girlfriend, I'm constantly searching through the sirloins like a bookcase.
Yeah.
Because you can select a good steak within the supermarket.
Really?
Okay,
And I think
So what are we looking for?
you want to make sure when, say for example, sirloin I always go for because I think you've got a good amount of fat, and you sort of you run less of the risk of getting that silver skin
Yeah.
going within the meat, and it's not too fatty. So the one thing you want to just check for, you got no sinew going through the center of the beef, a little bit of marbling, and you can sort of see it, and there's a good amount of fat, not too much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And how are you cooking it though? Like, if I wanted to do a medium rare steak at home without setting the fire alarm off, without my girlfriend leaving me again, like, how am I doing it?
Well, there is no way. She's going to leave you anyway. No, I'm joking.
That's already the problem I can't solve.
That's done.
steak's not going to solve that.
I'm joking. So open all your windows. I don't think you necessarily need to burn it.
No.
But you do want to get a really good sear. Always with a sirloin or a ribeye, sort of render the fat down first. So salt and pepper on the steak, leave it out of room temperature, as they say in the books. Render it down slowly. You could put the oven on if you wanted, but you shouldn't have to do that unless it's a thick 1 kilo steak. So say, for example, 250 gram sirloin, render the fat down and then cook it in the fat. Don't add half a kilo of butter into the pan with rosemary and garlic, for God's sake.
Really? Even though the internet videos tell you
it's so
to.
boring.
Yeah.
No one's eating like that.
No, they're not.
You're going to die.
Yeah. Shit.
You can't eat like that.
So rendering the fat, literally just sit it on that fat bit
and render it down.
just let it kind of come out.
Gently let it go. Just let it go down that stream.
Yeah. Let it go.
Cook it. Let it go nice and crispy.
And just salt and pepper's fine.
Salt and pepper.
We haven't got our own private
you don't
blend.
need to put in. You could even put a little. Take it off the heat.
Yeah.
And then while it's so cook it. Say for example, 3 minutes on each side, nice golden brown.
Yeah.
Take it off the heat, and then you could just add a little dash of olive oil and turn it every minute, so those juices just run back through the meat.
Yeah, right.
And that's the flavour, and that's what makes it tender. Yeah.
Could you sell us a baggie of your secret spices?
I'll
Can we do an
I'll
illegal
give you
deal?
a little pot.
Okay.
I should have brought some today.
I know.
No, we'll
But
come
that's
in.
an excuse to
time.
see us again.
We'll come in and
We'll
get
come
it.
back,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
You managed to create one of the best steak restaurants in the world, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say London's sort of synonymous with steak. So what are your favourite cities to eat steak in? Like where, for me, it's Florence probably.
Oh, you know what? I've heard a lot of good things about Florence.
Yeah.
I've not been, so
Oh,
we'll have to
okay.
go. We'll have to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously, America is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a few in Las Vegas. They're sort of more hype names,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily the best steak. I think London is getting better at steak as well now. You know, you've got sort of Beast, you've got Goodman's, you've
Yeah.
got the Guinea Grill,
Yeah.
you've got the Devonshire, which
Yes.
is unbelievable. I mean,
Apparently our beef's better in the UK than, because who was it who took, was it Hawksmoor went out to New York?
yes.
And he's still,
Doing the
bringing
grass-fed
the
beef.
meat in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I think it must be difficult to import all that grass-fed beef.
Yeah.
You know, but Hawksmoor's amazing. I do love it. But yeah.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, The Cut is a steak restaurant primarily, but your background, you worked at Scott's. We're going to get into that in 8 years there.
Yeah.
Probably, and if not the most romantic, the most beautiful restaurant in London still, I think. But the Wolfgang let you put on, because you're a seafood chef primarily.
Yeah.
Did he let you put on any seafood stuff?
It was funny though, because when I'd first started, the only thing, if ever I'm doing a tastings, I always cook seafood. They used to call me the Cuisine Queen at Scott's because I used to overcook everything. His name was Andy Burton and Tom Fraser. They used to, so Tom would be in the centre of the pass.
Yeah.
I'd be on the grill. So you grill the Dover soles,
Yeah.
you cook the grouse, and I'd overcook the steaks constantly. Honestly, they called me the Cuisine Queen. So when I cooked for Wolfgang, going back to it, I did seafood. So I did like a seafood bisque. I did beautiful scallop, tiger prawn, a little bit of caviar, and served that to him. He loved it. So it was beneficial for me to be able to do that because I don't think he's so used to that. He's always used to getting beef.
Yeah.
So was that your interview?
So my interview was like 10 stages, but
Wow.
to get to Wolfgang, they flew me to LA and I had to go to Spargo and I'd still not met him. I got the job at Cut. But to actually get to meet Wolfgang was a long one, literally 9 interviews with the Dorchester Hotel.
Wow.
And then a lot of the people that work for him. So they flew me over to America and they said, Wolfgang will come and see you. And I'm honest to God, I don't know if you've seen the hotel, the Four Seasons where they filmed Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
So they said, go stand outside the front. So Cut Beverly Hills is inside that hotel. And I stood there and they said he was coming. Anyway, he never turned up.
Brilliant.
So I went to that was lunch service. I went to Spargo for dinner and they said, you're in charge of this 40 cover function. I was absolutely like bricking it. And anyway, Wolfgang then turned up in a stretch Hummer. No joke, a stretch Hummer. I said, Elliott, how are you? Welcome to LA. And then he took me in the Hummer, drove me around, showed me where people lived, took me to his house, had dinner. Unbelievable. Like, honestly, like out of a movie.
Yeah.
That is Hollywood.
And then
do you think he did that to give you a bit of
I think
is he travelling everywhere in a stretched Hummer?
he literally drives around in a stretch Hummer.
Really?
That is what he drives around in, yeah.
I mean, that's very cool.
I mean, some of the stories he tells me is, he was telling me towards the end of Robin Williams' life, he would be, so Wolfgang would just go in for a coffee at Spargo. This is like literally 10 years ago. He'd be sat there and Robin Williams would come in and just chat to him and just say, what's going on in Hollywood, just chatting to him for having a coffee. Unbelievable stories, and then obviously,
so cool.
sadly, he passed.
Yeah, no.
That is unreal.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got some wonderful seafood and steak creations, amongst other things. I saw your hot dogs; those look banging as well.
With bubble dogs.
Yeah,
Bubble dogs with the amazing
yeah.
James Knappett and
Yeah.
Zadia from Kitchen Table.
Yeah.
Yeah, God knows how that came about, but I thought that'd be a nice idea.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That was a great little collab.
God, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
I was watching a video on it yesterday. Crazy combinations, but they looked amazing.
Yeah, I sort of just made it up as we went along, really.
Yeah.
James is a wizard. Sandy is a wizard. So.
Yeah. I like the dessert one where you deep fried the hot dog bun.
Yeah, so the whole brioche, deep fry it, toss it in cinnamon sugar, and then we got like a Valrhona chocolate ganache, which you freeze, and then you put it into the hot brioche, and it sort of melts and delicious.
Mad.
And what were the little sauces? Was that just like a
Ketchup
strawberry?
and mayo.
Yeah,
It's like strawberry sauce and passion fruit.
Bang.
You've still got time till the 29th of September if you want to come down. More than welcome.
Get on down.
Well, talking about creations, we're now going to play, I think it's gone up to second in the charts, second greatest ever game ever created, Deli Steady Cook. Ben,
lovely.
take us through it.
I've got a bag of ingredients. I'm going to show them to you, and at the end of the podcast, you can tell me what you make from it.
Okay.
You can bring some stuff to the party, some protein, some veg, stuff like that. Gochujang.
Lovely.
Little spicy Korean treat from Bom Bom.
Love that.
What else have we got in here for you? I mean,
Can I open up?
you can open it up, yeah.
You're taking it home with you, but
Oh, look at that. Put that for a bit of mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Lovely.
delicious. This is a garlic chili oil from, I can't remember where it's from, actually.
looks like the
I
cover
like all
of,
this fancy packaging.
Yeah,
you
it's
got
good
here.
packaging.
Wonderful.
One of the
This.
best graphic design in the country.
I know, I was going to say.
looks like the cover of the Chili's album, One Hot Minute.
What you're going to find is I've given you 3 different chili-based treats. And then this is from the Wolf's Kitchen, which is also a chili crunch.
Might have to make a hot dog out of these.
Yeah.
And then
Chili crunch.
I got a bag of unbelievable Fresh Flour Company ramen noodles.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm assuming you're going to bring some other stuff to the party.
Easy.
That's wonderful.
From Devon, that's fantastic.
Are you up having a drink? I know you're working later. Secretly?
I'm always having a drink.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a drink. What do
Why
we have,
not?
Ben?
We've got a choice of either an espresso martini or an old-fashioned.
Espresso martini, I think. Yeah.
I'll have an old fashioned, please. Thank you. No, please. We're going to ask you what's your go-to cocktail.
Go-to cocktail for me. Oh, it depends what mood I'm in, really. I would say probably Negroni.
Yeah.
But
I would
it's
say
hard,
that's a
you know.
94%, right? People say Negronis?
Yeah, it's just so
Yeah.
nice.
That's so
It is good.
Love a Negroni.
Ben, do you want to ask canapes?
Yeah. Freddie and I coming around for dinner
Yeah.
at home. We're not coming to the restaurant.
Yeah.
What would you tend to put out? A little drink, canapes? What are we having?
Do you know, drink for me, if I was like a proper little party, when I was working with Mark Hicks, this is sort of the inspiration behind it. He'd make like a sort of a classic champagne cocktail in a martini glass. He'd put like a little black cherry with the liqueur, and then he'd pour sort of English sparkling over the top.
Wow.
I think that's a really good start to any meal.
Yeah.
And then canapes, I just do like a bit of smoked salmon creme fraiche on a bit of bread.
Nice.
Simple as anything.
That's almost the Spargo pizza.
You know what I mean?
You know,
There
that, like
go.
that Wolfgang
Well,
Puck.
my chef messed it up for me royally.
Go on.
Royally. So traditionally, this is the one thing you could get sacked over. You cannot get this wrong.
Oh, really?
Don't fuck
So
up the pizza.
It's a pizza base, onions, olive oil.
Yeah.
You bake it, take it out, put a little dill cream on top,
Yeah.
smoked salmon and caviar. Right. Simple
Couldn't be
as
simpler.
anything. Anyway. I had the director of HR from LA come over in the room. My night chef, who's been with me for 10 years, God bless his soul, served a tomato-based pizza with his smoked salmon over the top. And I got this message from Wolfgang saying, what the
fuck have
hell
you
is
done?
this?
What was he
What have
thinking?
you done?
So hold on, can we get the Spargo, that pizza here?
Yes, at 45 Park Lane in the bar.
So it is a
Okay.
smoked salmon pizza, but what else is on there? Because it does sound a bit...
Cheers, guys.
This is an
Oh.
unusual blend I've done
This
here.
looks great.
yeah. This
Cheers.
looks like sort of a bedtime milky drink.
It's got Baileys in it. And
Delicious.
it's got this cold brew coffee company, cold brew coffee, Freddie.
Love that.
I mean, it's all right.
What about morning drink? Talking about coffee. What's the first thing you drink in the morning?
Flat white, about 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Love a flat
At
white.
home, or you get into work and then they're produced for you?
Oh,
Or are you-
they normally bring me like a sort of, well, they try and do a flat white, comes out as a cappuccino sometimes, but I'll drink it.
Everyone's
Yeah,
happy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm not precious.
No, me neither.
And assuming that you might have occasionally had too much to drink, how are you curing that in the morning? What's your hangover cure?
2 boiled eggs,
Yeah?
3 slices of soldiers, like 3 slices
Yeah.
of toast, white,
Buttered.
toasted well. Let the toast go cold, then butter it so
Yeah,
you can
I
put
love
loads of Lurpak on it.
Yeah.
Or whatever butter
Why let the
you've got.
toast go cold?
Because then the butter doesn't melt.
You don't.
And you get like a big
Almost
thick
want it
layer of
to-
butter.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
like
sorry, guys.
bite
So you've
through
almost
it.
You're
got the
getting up
sa-
on me.
You need like 30% butter to bread.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then you dip it into the yolk. Clarence Court.
Yeah, of course. We're not fucking around.
Yeah, man.
Not Burford Brown.
Bertha Brown, Clarence Scott.
Oh, sorry, Bertha Brown, Clarence Scott. Sorry.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
All the same.
Yeah,
Nice.
they've all the same. But
Someone said they feed them paprika in their diet to make
or
them
cayenne pepper,
or cayenne pepper or
like
something to make it
yolk.
orangey.
Is that real?
But then they do taste so much better than every other egg.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're
I have to
seasoned with
defend
cayenne
them.
pepper early on.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I cut you there. So,
Sorry.
is it just egg and soldiers?
Boiled egg, soldiers.
Nothing else.
That's it. Coffee,
Okay.
Coca-Cola.
And what happens if that doesn't work? Or it always does?
That normally works.
Yeah, that doesn't.
We just carry on drinking.
Well, talking about carrying on drinking, for the last 2 years, you've had the pleasure of cooking at the Oscars for the most famous people in the world. Can you take us through how much sort of work goes into that, how much prep? Because you're creating 25,000 dishes on the day, right?
Yeah.
And also, if you've managed to be able to introduce any of your dishes, because Wolfgang's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Have you been able to bring any Elliott dishes?
Yeah,
to the...
I have.
Go on.
So, sort of the last 2 times I've gone, thankfully I've not had to create all those dishes. There's about 300 chefs.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So honestly, it's so busy.
And is this for within the ceremony, or is it
So
a dinner at
you know
some
where
point?
Will Smith did that infamous slap?
Yeah, you take
So-
my wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, take my wife's name
Yeah.
out my mouth.
Yeah.
However he said it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so downstairs they've got like where they do the ceremony. They don't eat for like 6 hours, and obviously
Right.
they've been sort of hungering themselves
Yeah,
for a long time, so they can fit in their dresses
Yeah.
and suits.
Yeah.
Then once that's over, they're obviously really hungry. They go up the stairs to the governor's ball.
Right.
That's where they go with their Oscars. But the great thing is they're unengraved. So no matter how high or a celebrity you are, they will go up there guaranteed and get their Oscar engraved. And Wolfgang cleverly puts my table underneath the engraving station.
No.
Yeah, right in prime location.
So you've
so
seen
cool.
them
Because we're
all.
besties, you know?
Yeah. Well, rightly so.
Yeah.
So you've seen all the biggies.
I've seen all the Lady Gaga, like you name it.
Do they come over for a chat or not?
Yeah, they come over for a chat.
And when you say your table, like what was your
It's like a table sort of no bigger than 12 foot.
Yeah.
And then
your carving or
yeah, so
cooking or-
we were doing, so he lets me do English dishes. So I did roast beef, Yorkshire puddings. What else did we do? We did a sherry trifle,
Yeah.
fish and chips,
Yeah.
all that kind of thing.
So like straight up fish and chips.
Straight up.
Surely you're
like in
giving it a little.
in a mini bamboo cone.
Yeah.
Chips, tartar sauce, a little bit of fried haddock, skin on, no messing around. Bit of malt vinegar.
Is Wolfgang a fan of a Yorkshire pudding?
He loves it.
He is
but
now.
he did stitch me up royally. Like, I'm not even joking. So the day before the ceremony, which is on the Sunday, I made, I think it was 1,200 mini Yorkshire puddings. It took me like all day. And the realism of it is you pre-cook them and then you rebake them in the oven. You just physically couldn't make them in a
right.
day.
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes in, he goes, "What are these for?" "For kids. I want fucking large ones." So these big large ones. So I'm there running around making these large ones, and then he started making burritos out of them, carving it up. I'm like, this isn't what we planned.
What?
my God.
You know?
So he's quite fast to
he'll
lose.
change. He'll change. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He will change things.
Where do
just
you get a Yorkshire pudding like mold out in LA for the big?
Well, you get them from Amazon.
Right,
Get them
okay.
shipped over.
Fucking
Little tiny molds like that, and you sort of literally like with a little pipette
Yeah,
put
yeah.
in these.
And how will they receive? I mean, people
Oh,
presumably. I mean,
It was
it's
amazing.
delicious.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really good.
So Gaga came over. Anyone else for a bit of a chat?
Gaga, Billie Eilish.
Oh,
We had the Oppenheimer crew there as well.
Is that from the Selling Sunset? Oppenheimer the film.
Oppenheimer the film.
I've
yeah.
revealed my. I was thinking.
Atomic Bomb one.
Christopher Nolan.
Nolan,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's
was
much
with us
better.
the year before. You know, Brendan Fraser from The Whale.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
He was with us for a while. That was my favourite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I was like, I remember you in The Mummy.
Were you worried that Will Smith may slap you post his anger?
I think
if
he was
did-
banned, actually.
Really?
He'd
He's
been
banned
marched
now,
out
yeah.
probably. Yeah.
He was marched out, right? So he didn't get a chance to sample
No.
your delicious food.
No.
Okay. Any parties though?
extraordinary.
Because obviously there are some amazing parties afterwards.
It was. I've told this story before. There was a lady, a glamorous lady stood next to me, and she was English accent, and she said, "Oh, you know, if you want to come back to the after party, you're more than welcome." Really pleasant lady. And everyone was getting photos with her. And I'm like, nah, I'm too busy for this, darling. Anyway, afterwards, I'd got back to England and I showed the picture and they're like, bloody hell, it's the woman off Beverly Hills Housewives.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh my God.
I wish I
You could have
went.
been partying the Beverly Hills ladies all
Yeah,
night.
you know what I mean? I missed out there big
on,
time.
I think your
Gotta say
girlfriend's
yes.
probably happy you didn't go.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Obviously, you've met some incredible names over there, but just quickly, the mise en place. We've got another pod called Mise en Place where we
Yeah.
get obsessed about cooking and preparation. Is it just insane the amount of work you got to do in the build-up to it? Yeah.
It's intense because the thing is, you get there I land on the Monday. The Tuesday, I need to do the preparation for the Wednesday press because they do like
Yeah.
a press thing where they come in, they see the food. And then sort of Thursday, I want to take the day off so I can go look around
See a
LA,
bit of-
drink on Venice Beach and do
Yeah.
and Friday
Yeah.
and Saturday.
Yeah.
So I've got to do some work.
Yeah.
No.
So I try and do as little as possible, but get as much done in as little time, if that makes sense.
Sure. So it's intense.
I'm not the most favourite person over there, but we do what we do, you know?
And you're back. When are they? They're like February. Are you back this year?
Yeah, so I booked the flights, ready to go.
So we can't say no.
Today I've just started to think about what I might serve.
Yeah, go
so
on. What are you thinking?
I
Because
don't know yet. It needs to be something, you know, how do you top fish and chips being a British dish?
Yeah.
Fish and chips, roast beef I've done.
have you done the beef Wellington?
Done.
Because that's one of his famous dishes as well.
Yeah,
Wolfgang's.
done beef Wellington. So now I'm thinking...
Can you go off
something-
piece? Can you do them a curry or something?
Yeah, it could do, you know, a curry could go down well. I'm thinking...
How do you put a curry in a bamboo cone though?
Yeah, you know what I mean? That would be difficult.
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Well, because you need to think about the dynamics of being able to walk
exactly,
around.
because
Yeah.
it can't dribble down
No.
or anything like that. It has to be quite
Oh,
easy
right.
to eat.
What
Little
other
samosa.
British treats? What about
Little
the sausages?
samosa.
Like, I don't know, little sausage and mash.
Little sausage. Oh, I did think of that.
Yeah.
Little toad in the hole.
Yeah.
One of your favourite questions is always about when people can get a dish on a menu.
Yeah,
As a chef coming and you're trying to get a dish on the Oscars menu.
I would
Is that
love
what's
to get
happening?
one. Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
happening.
Let's
Yeah.
start it here.
There we go.
This is
I'll
where it
actually
was
come out
born.
and help you prep if you want.
Yeah,
Do you want me to book my flights?
100%.
Okay, cool.
Let's go.
I'll invoice Wolfgang.
Yeah.
You moved to London from Cornwall when you were 15 years old. That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. What was it that made you leave your GCSEs behind and obviously move up and pursue a career in cooking?
Well, I loved school, like the fact of messing around and doing absolutely nothing and just causing absolute trouble.
That's not what school's about.
No,
though,
it
is
wasn't. And I was determined. I just wanted to, you know, be successful and do well.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I remember just watching TV and it was like about the royal family, and the Queen's favourite place to eat at the time was like the Ivy, they said.
Yeah.
So I just went upstairs, logged on to Wi-Fi, beep, 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 beep,
Yeah,
beep,
yeah.
beep, logged on. And then I emailed the Ivy, and next day, Mark Hicks emailed back and he said, come to London, do a trial at Le Caprice.
Cool.
Got to Le Caprice and they walked me over to Scott's, which was a beast then. Like,
Yeah.
it really was. It still is unbelievable.
Has it gone downhill?
institution. No, I don't think so. I just think
No.
maybe people have just got used to it, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it is such a fantastic place.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of sort of work families still are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a great place.
Sorry, Karen.
Did you have any cooking experience?
I'd worked from 13 years old in a place called Trinatham Manor.
Okay.
I was like KP,
Yeah.
tried to make desserts,
Yeah.
failed miserably.
But you're being marched over to Scots as a 15-year-old.
Yeah,
And then
my 16th birthday. So I did 2 years at Le Caprice first.
Yeah.
My trial was at Scott's. 2 years at Le Caprice. My 16th birthday was in the kitchen of Le Caprice.
Ugh.
And then 2 years there, then I went to Scott's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were working at Caprice, which is obviously the home of the celebrity, especially
Yeah.
then. I can imagine, was the food secondary then? And you must have seen some incredible sights then. I mean,
yeah, I
come
did. I remember there was one night, this is probably the third month in, I was walking down the stairs with these trays, because the kitchen's upstairs and the prep's downstairs. And they'd often have celebrities sort of waiting in the kitchen to go around the back car park. And I'd walked past, it was Kate Moss and Keira Knightley, and Kate Moss was smoking
in the kitchen.
In the
in
kitchen.
the kitchen,
Under the extractor, at least?
under the extraction.
So hold
yeah.
on, they're waiting there
And they were
to
talking-
sneak out the back.
Yeah, and they were literally stood opposite each other. One leant on the office, one leant near the bins. Honestly.
And that was a
Hello,
normal
how are
thing.
you?
You sneak them out the back and they're gone.
Yeah, all the time. I'm
Unbelievable.
not sure about now, the
No.
Arlington, but
Well, have you been there?
no, I've not been. I find it hard to go back to a place like that because
Yeah.
it will always be Le Caprice.
Yeah.
And I just don't know
what
whether
was
it
the
is.
food like there, though, honestly? Because obviously you go to Scots, amazing.
Yeah.
But the Caprice, is it more like...
For me, when I was working there, it was unbelievable.
Okay.
It really was
Yeah, yeah.
special. It was Paul Brown, Kevin Grattan was there as well.
Can you remember any dishes which stand out?
They used to do like a little wild grouse salad, and then we had like a seafood salad, which was razor clams, lava bread, little baby
nice.
English prawns, like
Yeah.
proper food.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really, really good food. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, even the crispy duck salad that we know from the Ivy sort of originated from Le Caprice and the Ivy. That was good then.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'm heartbroken when I see
Yeah.
the Ivy salad now.
Mad, isn't it? That-
Are
Yeah.
you just heartbroken to see what's happened to the Ivy group?
Yeah, and it's tricky
In the sense
because
that,
it's a
like-
great. I mean, I'd love to own it. It would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
really, really nice.
But chefs have been replaced by Bain Maries.
yeah,
And microwaves.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a shame.
yeah, it's a shame.
Somewhere they're not being replaced, there's obviously Scots. Now, you were there for 8 years.
Yeah.
How come you stayed so long? And secondly, how magical is it to work there? Because as a guest, you don't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just Tim Hughes, the chef director there, just like a father in the industry to me. I cannot thank that guy enough for what he did for me. Unbelievable. Absolutely destroyed me at times. Like, he's the best.
Really?
He is one of the best chefs this country's ever seen. And he's sort of the most underspoke one. Not many people know.
No.
But the people that
like
know,
a chef.
He is absolutely the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you like immediately good at cooking? Or was there like
I've
a
always had
journey?
a natural talent, I think. Yeah.
Like
honest.
genuinely? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I just had something clicked.
It sort of made sense to you.
Yeah, something always clicked. I mean, I'm not sure what.
No.
I still think I could cook anyone under the table, if I'm honest with you.
Nice.
But cooking seafood must be different because like Scott's has got such a huge array of seafood and other things as well.
Yeah.
But like, how tough was that to master the sort of cooking times for all the different offerings?
Again, it was Tim. I mean, for example, you have a razor clam, you have a whelk, you have a winkle. Like winkles and whelks, you've got to purge them, you've got to salt them, then you've got to boil them once, then you've got to take them out of the water, then you've got to cook them in a bain-marie, not a bain-marie, in a court bouillon.
Yeah.
Langoustines. At Scott's, you get the langoustines you cook daily, cock crabs you cook daily, lobsters. If you cook them in the wrong order, if you cook the crabs first because the delivery of the langoustines isn't there, you literally get destroyed because the water gets contaminated by the crab. You have to cook it all in the right order. So many rules. And
is that fresh delivery every day?
Fresh delivery every day. I mean, we used to get turbot in. We'd do 12 fish for 2 per day, regardless of how busy you are. Once you run out, you run out. Halibut on the bone, you do 6 a day. If you run out, you run out. And then the worst of all was skate wing, because skate wing turns and it smells like
sort of pissy.
Bit like piss.
Yeah, like ammonia-y. Yeah.
Ammonia. And Dave McCarthy, the head chef, would literally just get this ray wing and stick it under your nose.
What, say, is it gone?
He would say, is that acceptable?
Really?
No, Dave. See you later, Dave. Run!
Yeah.
What about the staff meals there, like the family meals? Did you eat fish or were there other things?
We ate a lot of mince and potatoes. Really? It's nice and strong.
It was like the Irish Civil War or something.
Yeah. Sausage and mash, jacket potato, coleslaw, good wholesome food.
Proper.
Always had a really great breakfast as well.
Where's the best sort of family meal you've had?
Probably Dorchester.
Yeah.
Dorchester Hotel Collection, unbelievable. The canteen. They really do look after their staff.
So do you go into the Dorchester? Is 45 Pot Lane part of...
Yeah, Dorchester Collection.
Yeah, no, I know it's part of the collection, but is it in the Dorchester building?
Well, apparently there's a tunnel underneath, but we've never gone there. But no, we just walk over.
Okay. Yeah, because we saw Booty the other day, Tom Booton.
Yes.
Wonderful guy.
Does he go by Booty?
Now he does.
Yeah.
Now we're mates.
Booty!
Yeah, Booty.
Yeah.
I mean, what a lovely guy. And he treated us some delicious food, didn't it? That
really,
tartare
really good cooking. Yeah.
was unbelievable. But he said, actually, going back to your interview, he was like, when I interviewed here, it took like a year and a half. Like, it seems like the Dorchester's quite a tough place to get into, but once you're in there, they're looking after you.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, Scott's 8 years, and then after Scott's, you go back to your old mate Hixie at Soho, followed by the Ned, head chef of Millie's Lounge, and another 5 restaurants. Now, you know, I'm fascinated by this. How stressful was that overseeing that? And was that the
most stressful job ever?
And was that the first time?
At the Ned?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Just
moved
the scale
away.
of it?
No, management of it.
Right.
We don't need to go any further.
No, okay.
No, but you moved away from cooking, right? In a way, and you were doing logistics, surely.
Yeah, it was.
That must have been awful.
But it was a lot of menu changes and just dealing with a lot of different angles, a lot of different viewpoints. It was a really, really tough gig, and it was exactly.
Are they managing that from like a central head office, or is it like?
No, you had the sort of general manager of the hotel. They had an executive chef, all that kind of thing. I mean, for me, what's the word to put it politely? It wasn't my viewpoint. Do you know?
Right.
You know, I'm all about looking after the people, loving the people, loving the food, and I just think it was just not for me.
Wasn't.
Yeah. Were you ever excited by it because you took the job?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. This is at the time was, without any shadow of a doubt, one of the best things happening to food. And you know, you had Kaya, you had Millie's Lounge, you had Lutchin's Grill, which was like it was a love affair. Absolutely loved it. But you know, it was really tough. It was a really tough year, and I was quite gutted when I'd left. But
because like a sort of job not quite done.
Yeah,
like, you know, it didn't.
I felt like I made massive impact at the time. I was there for 1 year exactly.
Yeah,
and I did say if I can do a year, then I'd done very well.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Talk us through the madness of their Sunday. What is it like? Brunch?
Sunday feast.
Yeah,
oh
Sunday
my
feast.
God.
And how much waste is it? Go on, take us
Do
through.
you know what? It is the most well-oiled machine.
Oh, really?
ever.
Go on.
Everything's got a statistic. Roast beef, 0.8 per person slices. Lobsters, 0.7 per person. So on average, 0.7 lobsters per person. But the thing that tipped me over the edge with the feast, so I'm stood there. So we had like 800 lobsters. And we were getting low on lobsters. Like we were not allowed to run out of anything. Imagine if you come at 7 o'clock. Oh, sorry, we've got no lobsters.
Yeah.
And this young lady, she came up with her plate, and she must have put about 18.5 lobsters on her plate. And I'm just like, do you really need all that? I just said to her, I just
really?
popped. I said, do you really need all that?
Yeah.
It's like, are you joking?
Yeah.
And that was the moment I just thought, you know what?
I can't.
This ain't for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's not much waste then?
No, there's like no waste.
Really?
The only thing you'll get waste on is things like roast potatoes, vegetables, and we just make that into a hash anyway.
Yeah.
So there's no
But how
real
do they
waste.
work out the maths behind it? Can you just take us through that in more detail? 0.7, whatever.
So you've got a graph, and then you see what you order, and then you see how much you use, you see what you run out of, and you gently tweak it. So for the first, I wasn't there for the first year, I was there for the second year. And then it's just a fine document that they just fine tune. You know, if the lobster goes up, they'll work it out and they'll put 0.8. But it was always 0.7 when I was there. It is, honestly, it was an amazing machine. I mean, unbelievable.
Quite incredible.
But it was probably...
Should we be worried about food poisoning at buffets?
No, because the food is so fresh.
Yeah.
Food's so fresh, it's all probed.
Yeah.
And you were literally cooking roast beef and you couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it's not sitting around.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Must be an awful gig for the chefs on the Sunday.
Awful.
Like knackering.
That's you want to
Awful.
swerve that as
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you often get a couple of calls in the morning being like, sorry, boss, can't make it?
Yeah, it was, people were always not turning up, and
Yeah.
it was just not the greatest. You know?
You then went on to Duck and Waffle, which is famously open 24/7.
Yeah.
It's like you're a sucker for punishment. What?
I wanted to really push myself. That place is amazing, though.
Yeah.
I love
right.
Duck.
Yeah.
But the sights you must have seen at 4 in the morning, because I remember going there once
I did
about
one
2 in the
night shift.
morning. I really.
I had someone crawling on the pass asking me for chicken wings. I said, absolutely never
Yeah.
doing this again.
No, that's it.
I once went up there in the lift and was sent straight back down with a couple of mates at 2 in the morning. I
Yeah.
can imagine that must happen the whole time.
Oh, it's
Oh, really? So there is a bar.
Yeah, it's open 24/7.
As in, what I mean is a bar of like you were too drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
there's a
must have
bar.
been. Well, I don't know if I was too drunk. I can't quite remember.
What was wrong with you?
I don't know. It's just early in the mornings. I can't remember. I was younger. I don't really know. But I remember going up the lift, and it was an amazing journey up the lift.
Yeah.
And it goes
Yeah.
pretty fast. I mean, it's quite incredible. Worth going just for the
It's
lift.
the highest restaurant in the UK
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Gordon's
Unbelievable
about to beat that,
place.
isn't
Yeah, he's about to beat that.
he?
Really?
Do you have anything to do with Gordon or not? I know you've got a good relationship with Jamie Oliver.
I see him at Formula One,
Yeah.
Gordon, and sort of we know each other from the industry. I really, really respect him. I think he's amazing.
What's that Aston Martin gig like then?
Yeah, it's good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's through Wolfgang again.
Yeah.
I only go to Silverstone, but I mean, get to cook for sort of Michael Douglas,
Yeah.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, all these people.
So cool.
Are we meant to be going
Yeah.
out with Booty on a Aston Martin trip?
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
We
that
haven't
yet.
heard anything
No.
back from him yet.
Oh, it'll happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does often go to the Aston Martin.
We may have to double check his email at the end.
Yeah, do it.
Just make sure he's getting our messages.
Yeah.
But was Duck and Waffle good? I mean,
Amazing.
Food wise, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it says on the tin. You
Yeah.
know, it's just good American sort of grub, and you sort, and it's a good value for money. I really did enjoy Duck and Waffle.
Were you looking for somewhere to sort of land? It seems like you were trying some things.
I was just taking a few risks.
Yeah.
I'd say Duck and Waffle did pay off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it showed that I had a lot of questions after Duck and Waffle because I was sort of looking about, and they're like, oh, well, why would you go to Duck and Waffle? And I'm like, well, I've demonstrated I can do Scots Mayfair, Le Caprice, all this lot, and I can do the Ned, and I can do high volume. So it's almost like the perfect marriage. Never done Michelin Star or anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm more prepared if I wanted to do that than anyone.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So even at your level, you're trying to learn with each.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that, Michelin Star? I mean, Wolfgang's got 2 Michelin Stars.
Wolfgang's got a few Michelin stars.
All right, Wolfgang.
Yeah, he can calm down.
Yeah.
But we've won a Michelin star in 45 Park Lane for Sushi Kanasaka. So I kind of take that
Take
under
it.
my wing. You know what I mean?
Take it.
Yeah,
Been there,
claim it.
done that.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, you've eaten there. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll
Have
claim
you
that.
been in the kitchen? I mean, you've been in the kitchen there?
Yeah,
Are
I
you a
mean, we
sushi
have-
master? Like what?
I'm not
what-
a sushi master, but helped set it up logistically.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like I was part of the planning and helping them get
What makes
get
that
there.
place like Michelin Star worthy?
Well,
haven't actually
only
eaten
a Michelin inspector would know.
Right.
I think it's just so special. Sushi Kanasaka, you walk in and you really do feel like you're in Tokyo. It is a transformation.
Right.
You have to
Really?
come and check it out.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Is it like Endo? Have you been to Endo?
Similar, but
Yeah.
I'd say it's a little bit more intimate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller of a restaurant. I mean, I love Endo,
Yeah.
but it is different.
Yeah.
Have you had any disagreements with Wolfgang? I mean, obviously you're both such cultured and such like creative guys.
Yeah.
You probably have your viewpoints on things.
I mean, the only time we had ever disagreed, and it was him showing me. I mean, whatever he says, to be honest with you, I respect and listen. Is we were doing some filming, and he made me learn. Say, for example, we were doing fish and chips. I know it's a really simple dish, but I'd have like all the elements completely ready. And he said, "What are you doing? Like, why would you want to film me just assembling a dish?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, because you don't want to be around by the fryer. It's all messy." He goes, No. People want to see that.
Yeah.
They want to see you make the batter.
Yeah.
They want to see the consistency. And that was something I learned from him. People don't really care the state of the kitchen if there's a blue roll there, et cetera, et cetera. They just want to see the dish, see what it
See the
really
bits
They
and
wanna see
pieces
some
of
all
cooking.
that you see a lot of these chefs and they're, it's all perfect.
I always think
Everything's on
that.
the
Yeah.
tray.
Saturday morning
Yeah.
kitchen, it's all already cut up in like little things.
Yeah, it's all ready. Just
You're just assembling. It's like blue pizza.
You want to see people get
Exactly.
amongst it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
See
that
people
was,
like accidentally cut their finger off, and
yeah,
you know what I mean? A
it's
bit of
funny.
drama. Talking about drama, rock and roll. I mean, he's a bit of a rock and roll, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
But rock and roll's stigma of chefs is actually, well, debatably quite a negative thing in the industry right now. If you're thinking about the TV shows Boiling Point and all these kind of things, the film, The Bear. I mean, are they putting actually, because cooking's now got into like the mainstream.
Yeah.
Is that putting more chefs off?
I can't watch it.
No.
I don't watch any of it because I think, I can't comment on what I've not watched, but I don't watch it for a reason. The reason is I think it's giving the wrong impression of what the kitchen should be.
Yeah.
And so many chefs are now saying, "Oh, I look after my stuff." I do. No, you don't.
No.
All these things that people do saying they are, I don't know, I don't want to name any names, but they're saying they're doing so much for the industry, but they're the actual culprits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
It is good to be kind. And, when you walk into an office, say, for example, you have a daughter, she walks into an office, you want her to be looked after.
Yeah.
You want her to be offered a coffee.
Yeah.
You want her to be able to go for a toilet break when she wants to go, etc. Some kitchens are so horrible, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to change the stigma where, you come in, you're not just interviewing me. I'm not just interviewing you, you're interviewing me.
Yeah, right.
Is this a good place to work?
Yeah.
Can we have music on in the mornings? Does it really need to be that stressful?
Yeah.
It's just cooking food.
Yeah.
Simple,
Because, that's fascinating.
And
As in, there's no reason for it to be as it is.
There's no reason for it to be that horrible.
Yeah.
You get better. Everyone, you would need to shout at me while I'm growing in my career because that's how I needed to be taught.
Yeah.
But you can't, all this old school, like you're in the army. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Yeah, I agree with
You
that.
know what I mean?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So have you noticed it change positively, though, apart from that?
Well, where I'm working it has.
Yeah.
I'd say Dorchester Collection is really wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd won top 100 places to work in the UK, so that says a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Top 10 steaks, top 100.
Oh, yeah, we're winners,
Fucking hell.
we're
Yeah.
winners.
Yeah, born winners.
Yeah.
But I think it's changing, and it definitely is changing for the
Well, there's
better.
a lot of like lip service paid to the fact that it's changing.
Yeah.
It's like a common narrative at the moment.
Yeah, it has
But
to
do you
change.
think it is changing, like genuinely?
I think a lot of people saying it's changing, but
Yeah.
it's not. I think a lot of people, and they know
It's a good
they
thing
are.
to hide behind, isn't
But I, put your money where your mouth
Yeah.
is and actually make it change.
Well, I suppose because we get a lot of people coming on the podcast talking about their early formative experiences with chefs that shout at them,
And just
put fish trimmings on their hats and all
That's
these
not
sort of
right.
things. But with people like your good self sort of teaching a different way of doing it,
Just because
it will
you
take
got
a
abused
while.
doesn't mean you should abuse.
No,
you need
exactly.
to be kind.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, there's nothing more powerful than being the first generation to stop that.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
It's a bit like when you're bullied at school. You could
Well,
so
well-
easily do it to the 12-year-olds when you're 18. But
a
if
lot
you
of
stop,
chefs,
Yeah.
a lot of chefs, they'll say to me, "Elliot, I've got no chefs. I need to hire more people." The first question someone should ask themselves is, why
Yeah,
have
why?
I got no chef?
Yeah.
What is the reason? What am I doing to change that?
Yeah.
You look at yourself first. Am I fully staffed? I'm fully staffed. 35 chefs, 9 female pastry chefs, happy, look
Yeah.
after the team. Simple,
yeah.
There you go.
Finally, before we move into your go-tos, how important is it for a chef to be present in the dining room? Tom Booton said that he loved to go around checking his customers.
Yeah.
But should it be a thing where you should sort of leave the chefs to the kitchen and front of house, or should there be that? Because it seems like a lot more chefs now are coming out, which is nice, I think, as a diner.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm in the dining room more than I am in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a great team, as I said. I encourage the chefs to go out.
Yeah.
I get the pastry chefs to go and serve the dessert sometimes. I go up there, have a little laugh.
Yeah.
Used to have a glass of champagne. Tried to stop doing that now. Struggle to get down the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. By the time you've worked through all the tables.
Guests love it.
Yeah.
Guests love it.
Especially wearing your full whites. I got caught out because I had Merlin. When I went down to OSIP a couple of years ago, I had Merlin serving our table all night, and I had no idea it was Merlin.
Really?
And we were like, after a couple of drinks, asking him like how he sort of got the job as a waiter and stuff like that, and he was just going like,
He handled it well?
Yeah. He did actually.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, we're like, oh, can we meet the chef? He's like, you've been served by him all night.
All night.
And I was like, that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I've shared myself. I've shared myself. Talking about sharing myself, what's the biggest nightmare day you've had as a chef?
Oh, there's been so many. The worst day.
There must be one nightmare.
I remember it wasn't me. It was a chef in Scots, and it was Nigella Lawson's order. And we had 2 grouse left. And she wanted it on the bone. And the first one went up, and he'd taken it off the bone, and he'd sent it up. And then it happened again. The second one, both off the bone. That is literally probably the worst thing I've seen.
Yeah.
I've not really seen that many bad
Is that
things.
because it was Nigella?
It was because it was Nigella.
Yeah.
She wants
But
it
why
on the
would she
bone.
on
order
the bone,
grouse
yeah.
at Scots?
Because it is one of the best as well.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Known for game as well, you know.
Is it? Well, I'm
Yeah.
shaming myself again.
What is that thing? So like, a lot of fishmongers, they do fish and game.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know
Steve
why.
Hatt on the they'll always have
Maybe
a
it's
lot
because
of
there's a
game.
little niche in their market that
Yeah,
they can
right.
tap into.
That's the greatest education as a chef, though, isn't it? Being able to master game and
Yeah.
seafood.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really get better than that.
You don't. It is.
Yeah.
It is notoriously hard.
Yeah.
I think steak's quite easy to cook, really.
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about steak. We're going to move on to your go-to foods. Ben, have you created anything just
I have.
for Elliot to nibble on?
I would say I got scared
Why?
because of this guy. So I've made a steak sandwich
Okay.
and a little French dip.
Okay.
I thought we'll go for deliciousness rather than
How's
any
that?
sort
How's
of
that
cookery
going to
prowess.
travel?
Well, I'm going to pour some sauce on here and put a steak sandwich on.
Oh, let's have it.
You can.
Yeah, you can try it.
Right.
But
As you get that ready, we're going to say, what's your go-to delivery order, Elliot?
Oh, go-to delivery order. I love like a chicken biryani, rice, peshwari naan, 6 poppadoms, mango chutney.
Ugh.
Sound like Big John.
Yeah, you do. Bosh, yeah.
No, love a curry, to be honest.
Where are you based in London?
Dalston at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoying it over there?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
great
not-
restaurants around there.
No, there really is some great restaurants.
Yes.
I don't mind a little McDonald's cheeseburger as well.
Yeah.
I do like a little cheeseburger.
Do you alter it at all? Any of your McDonald's orders?
Whatever I fancy, really. Might
Yeah.
have 6 nuggets on the side as well.
Yeah. But you're not taking things out, putting things in,
No.
pimping them up. No,
Keep it quite
You don't
simple.
want to fuck it up, yeah.
No.
What about the dish you cook the most midweek? I mean, do you cook when you're outside the kitchen?
Yeah, I sort of just like spaghetti, chili and garlic. Might add some prawns if I'm feeling fancy.
Yeah.
Simple, you know.
What's your favourite meal deal combination? Have you ever had a meal deal? Most chefs nearly slap us when we ask them that.
Meal deals.
Do you know what a meal deal is?
Yeah, I know what a meal deal is.
No, because a lot of chefs don't.
If I was going to have a meal deal, honestly, let's talk Tesco's,
Yeah.
I'd have something like sausage roll, bag of salt and vinegar crisps, and a little Coca-Cola. I do like a little Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, full fat.
If you're going to do it properly.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
not, just go home.
Okay. What about your go-to spice or ingredient?
This looks amazing.
So, yeah, a little steak sandwich.
Look at that.
I've poured too much,
That's all right.
and I've made a little. Go on.
So what's in the French dip, Ben?
So you got the cooking bits from the beef.
Yeah.
Thyme, onions, garlic, a little bit of beef stock,
Beautiful.
and
That's
just
great.
boiled it away.
Lovely.
And then I thought you could have a little dunk of it.
Well, thank you so much.
Have a little bite.
Yeah, please. To be honest with you, I thought the ciabatta needed a bit of help softening it up.
Oh my god, I'm covering myself in stunning French dip. It's delicious, though.
I'm chewing now.
Definitely have to change my jeans after
You know, I made it
today's episode.
With love.
with love
How many hours ago?
about 3 hours ago.
Not too bad.
Delicious.
Ben, why don't you pick up?
Freddie, I've got no idea what's going on. I've got
Oh, okay. You're covered a French dip.
Ribeye in my...
Well, I'm going to ask you, what's your go-to spice or ingredient?
Go-to spice, chili flakes. Chili flakes go well with everything.
Any particular chili or just like a dried chili flake?
I like this. What you're giving me here, this chili crunch. We make that at work.
Really?
We make our own, which is delicious.
That's delicious, man.
But no, just like, just the normal chili flakes in a pot. Love that.
Yeah,
Put
great.
it on anything, really.
You can.
Yeah.
Dried chili and fennel seeds are my two.
Oh, beautiful.
Just on everything. Are you someone that ever presents yourself at the fridge at home and does little fridge combinations?
No.
Little snacks? No.
I'm never there.
No, you're never.
Honestly,
you're
I'm never
at
I'm
home.
always at work.
Yeah.
Do you ever do it in the walk-in? Little bit of this, little bit of that.
Section where if I was to have anything, it will be in that little corner.
Yeah.
Very rarely there is anything in there though. I'm just a nibbler.
Yeah.
I go around, have a little green juice from there. Might have some chips. I'm terrible with the chip bowl. My God.
Really?
I eat about so many chips.
Just
nibbling.
little help
because we
yourself.
make our chips in house. We don't buy the.
Not using Kaufman's.
No, I mean great product, but no, I like
Make
all
them
the
in-house.
breads we make in house.
Really?
We chip ourselves, wash them ourselves,
amazing.
everything. And do you know what? There's some sort of love and art behind making your own chips. And
Yeah.
as soon as you take that away, your
Sort of lose something.
You loses that bit of magic. I think.
Do you eat after service ever or not?
Yeah. I mean, I keep having this sort of broccoli chicken pasta, which everyone laughs at, which is quite nice. But see, the thing is, there's so many good options. I don't ever want the steak.
No.
Yeah.
Eating steak has been spoilt for me because I eat so many.
Well, I'm glad Ben made you one.
This sandwich is great.
Idiot.
But yeah, I try not to eat too much red meat.
What's your guilty pleasure? I always think it's the wrong way to phrase it, but like a little dish that cheers you up,
What is my guilty pleasure? I keep wanting to say McDonald's, but it's just terrible. I don't
It's
like
fine.
McDonald's. Yeah, probably McDonald's.
Yeah?
I do like it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a little cheeseburger.
Me too.
And I think anyone that says they don't, I think they're lying.
They are. To themselves
Yeah.
and to you.
Yeah, 6 chicken nuggets, Big Mac.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's proper.
fantastic.
What about your go-to weeknight restaurant?
I like Mason Francois now. I think that is.
Matthew Rowe, friend of the
Proper,
podcast.
isn't
it?
He
I
just
think-
opened Cafe Francois.
I know I need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not just saying it, but I do think that is probably one of the best restaurants in
Yeah.
London.
What do you
It's-
normally go for?
I like that jelly egg thing. Jelly en oeuf.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. The jet en gelée. I like.
It's got the ox tongue in, does it? What's that?
That's it. Yeah. I like the steak tartare.
Yeah.
The fact is just, it's so romantic. It's done table side. I like the little dessert trolley. Anything from the trolley, little boy.
So cool.
Love it. Give it all.
Yeah.
And I like him. I think
Yeah,
he's
He's
great.
a nice man.
I think he's great.
He's so sort of switched on and then switched off from cooking.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's.
Like, he's so on it, but then can seemingly just switch off. It was quite refreshing to see.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben.
Where are we going? Celebratory?
Yeah.
If you're having a little splash out, where are you going?
I like 45 German Street.
Nice.
Sam White, good friend.
Is that the back
Mate.
of Fortnum & Mason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it the new Le Caprice.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's sort of that new.
Yeah.
The food there's so good. The Bloody Mary. My
Yeah, it's good.
God. So I had Bloody Mary and I had, what was that cheese on toast thing called again? You know, the posh one.
Welsh rarebit.
Welsh rarebit, that's
Yeah.
the one. That, so good.
Really good.
And that is one of the best breakfasts as well.
Yeah.
Love it.
What about your go-to pub?
Go to pub, orderly. Without any, I know it's in Mayfair. Like, if you
Orderly
go,
House,
you can go outside of London. There's loads of great pubs.
Yeah.
For me, in London, the orderly, like that. Just like they do a Scotch egg, they do sausage roll, the beer, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my favourite
Have you got a little hidden gem that you frequent?
restaurant.
Yeah.
A good Italian restaurant around here, La Barca. That's good.
Really?
Really, really old school. That's great. And then rules.
Yeah.
Rules. Go in there, pretend you're James Bond. Let's go.
And
Is Rules still as good as it was?
I don't know. I haven't been for years,
no,
but
it's
but
good. It's cool, isn't it?
Went about a year and a half ago. But
Is the food any good? I don't know.
I think it was good when I
Was it
went.
good? Okay, right.
So I had sticky toffee pudding. I mean, it was just.
It's half the
oozing.
experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just so good.
I like that.
What about your dream long weekend foodie getaway? You, the girlfriend.
Do you know what?
Or us three.
Us three, yeah. I want to go to San Sebastian. Never been. That's where I want to go. That would be my dream now.
Yeah.
We can go.
You should watch Ocean Rogers' clip on it.
Yeah, we'll have a chat with Osh.
It's good, yeah.
Well, maybe we can get Ocean to come with us. 4 guys on the
We should do
road.
a big trip.
But he likes to do the TGV. He doesn't want to fly in.
Oh, really?
Goes on the train.
TGV to Paris, lunch at Paris, and then down.
Wow.
Drinks on the train. Probably quite a few knowing him.
What I was interested by is, so we put out a video of Osh's San Sebastian trip, and underneath, Angela Hartnett said, I've got a Scotland trip that will rival that. And she listed 4 or 5 places, Canoe Corinne and a couple. And I thought that looked...
Imagine doing both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we start in
Be amazing.
Scotland,
Oh, that'd be
train it all the way down. Anyway,
do that?
both of them look cool.
Let's get Andrew and
We
Ocean
should do
along.
a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Nice.
What about your go-to Christmas in terms of food?
Go to Christmas, as in Christmas
Eve,
Day.
Christmas Day, what we doing?
Christmas Eve, I like to sort of bake my own sausage rolls, and you still eat them and you're choking on them because they're so hot.
Yeah,
like that. Pork pie, if you can be bothered to make it, fantastic. Or get Chef Callum to make one for you. Bit of piccalilli on the side. That's your Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, always turkey. I don't like it when people change it.
Yeah.
I had beef Wellington last year, overcooked it in the oven.
You did?
Gutted. My dad nearly punched me. I couldn't believe it. I overcooked
Well,
this
it's your
Wellington.
job to cook beef properly.
Honest, I overcooked it, but I had the normal oven. I
Yeah,
cooked
right.
it
You couldn't
badly.
Really?
He was livid. Yeah.
Is it harder to cook in a normal kitchen?
I don't know if it was the 2 bottles of champagne I'd consumed before.
Yeah, but I
but
mean, you both worked at, you both worked in restaurants. It looks easier to cook in a restaurant.
yeah, I
kitchen.
mean, you probe it.
I'd say it is, yeah.
But I just put it in till it was golden brown. And sort of-
yeah.
You thought that'd be all right.
Yeah, but it was like slow and low probably. But
So you normally do turkey with what?
turkey, cranberry sauce, stuffing.
Yeah.
You know, pigs in blankets is key. Good gravy.
Really key.
You pissed by lunchtime?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. By
And
breakfast.
then do you go in again on Boxing Day? Because that's a beautiful thing about Christmas. There's so much leftover food you can get creative
You make a little hash. I
Yeah.
make it like a little potato hash, fried duck egg. Beautiful.
with all the leftovers.
With all the leftovers. Get it in.
What about you, Benny?
Similar.
Yeah.
I quite often do like a turkey pie on Boxing Day.
Pie is good.
Yeah. So just leeks and peas and pie, maybe some of the veg that's been left over.
Boxing Day, Sonny, or not? No.
Yeah.
No.
I put it in a lot of sandwich books that the Boxing Day sandwich is the most important thing about Christmas. But I'm not sure I agree.
Have
with
you been
that.
to Max's Sandwich Shop?
No.
Oh, you need to go there.
You actually should go there.
It's completely crazy.
steak.
Yeah.
It's all right. I've tried my best.
I had a Greg's before I came in. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not eating so much.
What's your order at Greg's?
I had a chicken tikka baguette
Oh,
and 3 chicken goujons. Fantastic.
absolutely delicious. You know,
I'll
what I
give you-
discovered the other day, I had maybe my 3rd Greg's ever. They did like a chicken katsu slice.
Oh,
It was unbelievable. It had something
That
on the
sounds great.
top of it.
What, like a pastry?
You know they do their like
Yeah, the
steak
slice.
Yeah,
slice
yeah.
or whatever.
So it was katsu and a pastry slice.
Yeah, and then it had this thing across the top of it. I guess it was like a breading. It was like the crunchiest thing I've ever had. Anyway, it blew my mind.
Maybe Greg's are getting
it
it all
was
right.
amazing.
I think
Shout
it's like
out
the deal.
Greg's. Yeah.
value for money for sure.
Yeah.
I saw they do like a
outrageous.
slice and a coffee for £3.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You know, you can say what you want about it, but good value for money.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Where are we at, Freddie? We at the deli. We at
are.
the deli dish of the day.
It's time to find out.
So Elliot, I've done you slightly dirty with the
I liked
with the deli bag.
Yeah.
What would you bring to the party here, and what would you create out of these little goodies I've given you?
Can I add something to it?
Yeah, please. Otherwise,
I'd
we're in
get
trouble.
I'd just get clams,
Yeah.
boil the pasta, really salted water, take it out, touch of sesame oil, some spring onions.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you can afford crab, do crab, but maybe some just pillared clams.
Yeah.
Steam them open with this. And then I'd leave that one out. Is that all right?
You can just take that
I'd
home
put a
and
bit of chili crunch on top and a bit of chili oil.
yeah.
And just keep it super simple. Clams, noodles, chili crunch, and a bit of the chili oil.
So it's a sort of like deli
Yeah.
vongole pasta.
Is that really simple? But I think that's
No.
what I'd do.
I think it sounds like one of the more delicious things anyone's ever suggested.
Yeah, simple. I'm all about simplicity and letting the ingredients talk for themselves. So
Nice.
I mean,
Elliott Grover.
love that.
I must say you've been one of the most beautiful and intellectual and just entertaining guests we ever had. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be here, honestly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You've been
not
absolutely
at all.
fantastic. We'll come check out all the restaurants, but maybe we'll just do a day.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea? At 45
What,
Potline?
I'll
Just go
start in
between
the
the
bar.
Japanese. Yeah, start at the bar. But what would we do? I turn and realise.
Negroni before you start. I've got
Yeah.
half a mouthful of meat.
Sorry.
Come in, walk up the stairs, get a Negroni. Then I'll give you a tour,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
show you the penthouse, like
Ugh.
show you how the other half live.
Yeah.
take you downstairs, show you the spa. Best spa in the UK.
Really?
No one knows about.
Could we access that? I feel like
I can show you for sure. If you want to swim, we can sort that out.
Yeah, we'll bring our trunks.
And then probably put you into cut first to try cut, and then another time sushi or either or.
Nice.
That sounds unbelievable.
Extraordinary.
We're going to finish off by asking you, what is your go-to 3-course meal? If you could eat 3 courses one last time, sorry, just as you take down the meat.
I would have. What would I have? 3-course meal. Eggs Benedict from the Wolseley.
Yeah.
As a starter. 2.
Or 2 portions or 2 eggs?
No, so you can get a small Eggs Benedict and a large, but it's like a 2 muffin Eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
2 as a starter from the Wolseley. Main course, steak tartare from the original Le Caprice with an endive salad and alamettes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alamettes are like tiny little
Tiny
chips.
Fritz,
or like, potato sticks.
And then dessert, Eton Mess from Scott's.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what I'd have.
That's a really nice
What makes
meal.
But the thing is, it's got to be from those places.
Yeah, it will be.
Because it's got that nostalgia around it.
What makes the Scots eat mess so good?
You know what?
You can't put...
I couldn't. It's just the ratio of sauce to meringue to chantilly cream. They know.
Yeah.
They know. Not many people know.
We shouldn't have to know. We can just admire it.
You can
and
just eat
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Elliott Grover, you've been absolutely wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so much for coming. Good luck at the Oscars next year. We'll book our flights tonight, will we, Ben?
Yeah.
We'll book our flights
Get
tonight.
it done.
Yeah.
Good luck with Jamie Oliver later today.
Thank you.
I hope it all goes well. And we're going to ask you as we finish off, what song do you want us to play us out with?
Duran Duran, Girls on Film. Let's go.
Very
Girls
nice.
on Film. Elliott Grover, those are your go-tos. Thank you so much, mate. That was great.
Pleasure, mate.
Thank you.
That was all right, wasn't it?